Many people believe that confidence comes from already knowing the answers. No, I believe it's the opposite. Years ago, when our three daughters were heading off to college one by one, my husband Henry made one academic request. He said, "I don't care what you major in, just promise me you'll take one business course. Finance, accounting, economics, you choose it, but take something to help you understand how business works." They all promised, "Okay, Dad, we will. We promise. We'll do it." 3 college graduations later, guess how many of our daughters took that one business class? 0, not one. And they had all kinds of excuses. "Dad, I couldn't get in the class. It was just for business majors." Or, "It didn't fit in my schedule. There was a waiting list." It went on and on. To his credit, Henry didn't push, but once those early careers and uneven paychecks and surprise taxes and skimpy retirement accounts entered the picture, our girls recognized the gap between what they knew and what they needed to know in the real world. And that's when the phone rang. 5 years later, our middle daughter Eleanor called and said, "Dad, remember that business class you wanted me to take? Well, now I need it. I need to know how to save some money. I want to start investing. And I need to stick to a budget. I need to create a budget." Henry was pumped. He has an MBA and more than 30 years in business and has taught finance at the high school and the university levels. He said, "Great, let's talk business." So Henry and Eleanor started meeting every Friday morning before he went to work. A few months later, Kathleen joined. And then Margaret. And then I joined because I have FOMO, fear of missing out. Today, 6 years later, every Friday morning across 3 time zones, we meet for what we call Friday Finance. We talk about interest rates, Roth IRAs, 401ks, the stock market, bonds, housing, AI, crypto, oil, gold, health insurance, inflation, the economy, the Fed, their personal budgets, whatever is most relevant to them on that Friday, or whatever Henry thinks they need to know that Friday. And if we happen to have a friend or a family member who's visiting, that person becomes our guest speaker. Sometimes our girls invite their friends for Friday Finance, although it's early, and sometimes those friends become our guest speakers. Henry wants to hear everybody's pain points and their financial strategies. And anytime one of us talks about Friday Finance, we all get the same question. "May I come? Can I join? I'm free next Friday." Here's what I've realized. Friday Finance isn't only about finance. It's about having the confidence to admit there's something I don't know yet. I have met smart, competent professionals who've told me I feel like I should know everything about my company or my industry. And when I don't have the answer, I stay quiet. I don't ask questions, and I just hope I'll somehow figure it out over time. Confident people learn to do the opposite. They raise their hands, they stay curious, and they don't apologize. Instead of saying, "Oh, sorry, I don't know the answer," they say, "I have a question about that." Or, "Is now a good time for questions?" Or, "I have a question before we move on." So what is the one skill you want to learn? AI, investing, public speaking, confident communications, leadership? Instead of saying, "I should already know this," start saying, "I'm ready to learn this." Confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's trusting that someone will walk alongside you as you ask those questions and encourage you as you learn. And if you're a leader, be that person who says, "Good question. I'll help you," or "Let's learn together." That's the real lesson behind Friday Finance. Thank you for watching.